Yes, it does. This story, Franny is here, is that right? Hey, you had this suggestion about the sombrero. Yes, the sombrero in the little car. So, I don't know if this will work for the whole story, but we're going to try it for a little while. And have first of all, is it okay if I add some music to your story?
Yeah.
Excellent, thanks. Now, if a real musician says that to you, you make sure you sign on the dotted line. It's very important. Let's see. Well, I'll start off, and then maybe I'll ask for some different kinds of music as we go on, and you guys can throw something out and see what happens. This is by Franny, and you're 8 years old, is that right? When is your birthday?
February 20th.
February 20th, that's a fantastic day. You know, it's a leap year next year. 100 years ago, Susan Snuffle woke up at her happy house at Stonehenge. She woke up from daydreaming. Susan Snuffle was a bunny. She was small and caramel brown. Like where it's going? Is that right? So you have the basics. 100 years ago, I don't want the story to get lost in the music. That's important, all right? So 100 years ago, Susan Snuffle woke up at her happy house at Stonehenge. I mean, who can't relate to that? She just woke up from daydreaming. Susan Snuffle was a bunny. She was small and caramel brown. That's what we were. How about another kind of music? What kind of music do you like? Yeah.
Rock and roll?
Rock and roll? Oh man. Sellers and rock and roll? I have faith in the future. This is very exciting. What's your name?
Rupert.
Rupert. Rule of 3. Sellers, rock and roll, and Rupert. This is fantastic. She was a home bunny who liked to play with her bunny brothers and her sisters. Especially double Dutch skipping. Her home was green. I might need to slow it down a bit. Her home was in the grass beside one of the large stones. The tourist bunnies came every year, but this year they seemed particularly annoying, and there was a lot of them too. Now we're going to take it to the bridge. This is another musical device to connect something to another area. She hopped around, and they were very noisy, and they peered into Susan Snuffle's hole. Susan Snuffle didn't like them at all. They made her annoyed and angry, and then she had an idea. Now, I happen to teach at the University of Victoria School of Music, and this chord, this is an advanced lesson in harmony. If we can, it's not really the parameters of the game, but this chord sets up a lot of tension. Don't you feel it? Can you feel this chord? Feels like it wants to go somewhere? If you think it wants to go somewhere, let me hear you say yeah. Yeah! Oh, there must be something wrong with this microphone, because I just asked you, if you think this chord's going somewhere, let me hear you say yeah. Yeah! Oh, that's a heck of a lot better. Oh, and how about a different style of music? Yeah? Well, it's your story, so of course you can have
Spanish.
jazz. I already liked you anyway. This is great. All right, where were we? They made her so annoyed and angry, and then she had an idea. Susan Snuffle got out her favorite book, The Mystery of Stonehenge, A Bunny's Point of View. This is hers, not mine. She sat in her hole and read it a while. A half an hour later, Susan Snuffle left her home ready. She stood at the entrance and yelled, "We're starting here right now." All the bunnies flocked over, and then she said, "This is, as you know, Stonehenge. I'm gonna tell you a couple of ideas of how and why it was made." That was fun. Another style of music. Well, in fact, while we think of another style of music, let me just read a little so we can make sure we get this whole story in. One myth was that Murlop the wizard had made it. Other bunnies think that it was ancient bunnies. As she was saying this, she was slowly leading them out of Stonehenge and slowly leading them to the juiciest patch of grass across the field. Susan Snuffle hoped that this would keep them away. I need a style of music in a second. And it worked! For 10 minutes! Susan Snuffle was usually friendly and playful and liked being around other bunnies. She was fed up. She knew the bunnies were easy to scare. So she stood up as high as she could and shrieked, "Please get out of here!" She had gotten rid of them, but they had started cautiously coming back into the circle of stones. Ooh, I thought I had got this in time. Susan Snuffle asked, "Is there any way to get rid of these tourist bunnies?" Oh, another musical device. That's the end of the story, but we need an ending. Susan Snuffle asked, "Is there any way to get rid of these tourist bunnies?" What do you think?
Push over the stones.
What kind of music?
Blue.
Heavy
Blues?
rock.
Heavy. Well, they're all so great. I heard classical guitar, sure. What do you think we should just tip over these stones? But won't we be disappointing people? Isn't classical music about disappointing people? Wow. Other endings? What do we got? What do we got? Push over the stones? Yes? I could honestly listen to you talk forever and never, ever, ever be bored. That's amazing.
You work at the university, right?
I do, yes.
Did they have a rabbit problem at the university?
Have you ever been to UVic when they had all those lovely bunnies up there? Wasn't that great? Where did they all go?
We should just move on to the next.
Perhaps that's it. Hey, how about it for Franny? That was a great story. That was wonderful. Thanks for letting me play some music for your story.